Welcome to the Explainer. So if you're out there working in construction, renovation, or heavy-duty fixing, you already know the ultimate headache. Juggling half a dozen different mortars for different weather conditions, different base materials, and entirely different load requirements. It slows you down, it clutters the site, and it definitely complicates your compliance. But what if you could standardize the whole shebang with just one system? Well, let's dive right into it. Today we're breaking down the technical data of the Fischer FIS V Plus, which is a system designed to literally be the ultimate universal injection mortar.
Here's our agenda for today. First, the ultimate universal mortar. Then, right mortar for every weather. Accessories for secure holds. Mastering concrete and masonry. And finally, advanced fixing and renovation.
All right, Section 1. The ultimate universal mortar. Undeniable credentials. When you're securing critical infrastructure, you don't just need something that holds today. You need absolute, certified reliability for the long haul. And that brings us to a massive number, 100. The FIS V Plus features an ETA assessment for a service life of a staggering 100 years. I mean, in the construction industry, this raw number translates directly into permanent peace of mind for your builds. Whether you're anchoring into cracked or non-cracked concrete, a century-long certification means you're leaving behind a legacy of absolute structural integrity. You are literally building for generations.
Now, the CE marking and the ETA assessment options aren't just alphabet soup, they're rock-solid guarantees of performance in highly demanding environments. For instance, the FIS V Plus is approved for use even in water-filled drill holes in concrete. Ever had a job site hit by a sudden downpour? Yeah, usually water in your drill hole means work just grinds to a halt. But with this system, your schedule stays perfectly intact, regardless of harsh environmental conditions.
And it's not just water. This system handles extreme heat, too. The R120 fire resistance classification proves that the mortar is tough against intense fire. Knowing your anchor types maintain structural safety and fire resistance for up to 120 minutes is absolutely crucial for modern safety compliance.
Moving right along to Section 2, right mortar for every weather, total adaptability.
Look, Mother Nature absolutely does not care about your project deadlines. That's exactly why your mortar needs to work on your schedule, not the other way around. To handle this, you have specialized variants of the FIS V Plus, specifically a high-speed and a low-speed option. If your job site is facing freezing temperatures down to -10 degrees Celsius, the high-speed variant gives you a significantly shorter curing time, ensuring swift work progress. But what if you're working in a literal heat wave or injecting into incredibly deep drill holes? That's where the low-speed variant saves the day. It extends your processing time, preventing the mortar from hardening prematurely before you've even seated the anchor.
So the crucial point here is knowing exactly when and how to use these variants, which is perfectly mapped out in this data table. For contractors, this is pure gold. It breaks down the exact gelling time, which, by the way, is your working window to insert the anchor, and the full curing time across every single temperature range. Like at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, the standard FIS V Plus cures in just 45 minutes. By consulting this chart, you can find your perfect application window at a glance, maximizing efficiency on site.
Okay, Section 3, accessories for secure holds, building the arsenal. A universal mortar is really only as good as the hardware it binds to, right? Well, the FIS V Plus is supported by a massive arsenal of system accessories designed to tackle any substrate. First up are the incredibly versatile Fischer anchor rods, specifically the FIS A and RGM models. These are approved for use in concrete in a massive range of sizes, from M6 all the way up to M30. Depending on your environmental exposure, you can utilize these in both galvanized steel and high-grade stainless steel. Plus, variable anchoring depths mean you can adapt these rods perfectly to your exact load requirements.
Now, if you're working with perforated bricks, you know the struggle. You pump in the mortar and it just vanishes into the voids. So frustrating. But the grid structure of the Fischer K injection anchor sleeve completely solves that. It ensures highly economical mortar consumption by containing the resin exactly where it needs to be, while also pushing just enough through the grid to create an optimum form fit inside the brick. It even has centering wings to perfectly align your anchor rod.
And for those really heavy-duty concrete tasks, we have the FRA reinforcement anchor. This is a reinforcing bar featuring a metric stainless steel connection thread. With the FRA, you're literally fully utilizing the load-bearing capacity of the concrete base itself. This specialized geometry allows exceptionally high tensile loads to be introduced into the anchorage base, making it ideal for the most demanding structural connections.
Section 4, Mastering Concrete and Masonry, the Installation Process.
Having the ultimate mortar and killer accessories is honestly just half the battle.
Now, we need to look at how they combine in the real world for a flawless certified fix. The installation process basically comes down to a mandatory 4-step procedure: drill, clean, inject, and insert. You must drill the hole to the precise approved depth. Next, you must thoroughly clean that hole. That part is non-negotiable. Then, you inject the mortar, starting strictly from the bottom up. Finally, you insert the anchor rod using a very specific twisting motion. Let's look a bit closer at why these exact steps matter.
Looking specifically at solid concrete bases, notice that second step, cleaning with a brush and blowout pump. If you leave concrete dust in the hole, the mortar will simply bond to the loose dust instead of the solid concrete wall, and your anchor is going to fail under load. Proper cleaning is the absolute foundation of structural security. Then, as you inject, you pull the nozzle back slowly to avoid trapping any air bubbles.
And that brings us to the final critical step. You do not just shove the rod straight in. No way. You've got to insert it with a twisting motion. This mechanical twisting action serves a vital purpose. It forces the mortar up along the threads of the rod, completely eliminating any trapped air pockets and guaranteeing a perfect 360-degree bond between the steel, the mortar, and the concrete wall.
Finally, Section 5, Advanced Fixing and Renovation, Pushing the Limits. This is where we really push the limits of the FIS V Plus system and see how it performs in highly complex building scenarios that standard anchors simply cannot handle. Contrast a standard threaded rod installation with a post-installed rebar connection. Because of the incredible bonding strength of the FIS V Plus, combined with its long gelling low-speed variant, you can carry out professional post-installed rebar connections with embedment depths of up to an astonishing 2,000 millimeters. That is 2 meters deep into solid concrete, allowing for massive structural renovations and extensions.
The really cool thing is that this system adapts to super niche applications too, like the FWS-2 weather-facing reconstruction system. This is an approved method for securing 3-layer exterior wall panels. Because it boasts such a high transverse load-bearing capacity, it actually requires fewer anchors per plate. This means you're not only securing the facade beautifully, since it allows for almost invisible fixing, but you're also drastically cutting down on material and labor costs.
We've seen the data, the adaptability, the extreme edge cases. From freezing temperatures to literally water-filled holes, all backed by an ETA assessment for a massive century-long service life. So, I'm going to leave you with this provocative question to really think about. Is your current anchoring system ready for the next 100 years? If you're tired of compromising on safety and efficiency on your job sites, it might be time to rethink the reliability of the tools you trust. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep building for the future.